be working. I'm not 100% sure. It's the first time I've done this. So maybe it starts bang on the hour. So if anyone's seen this, I committed to doing YouTube lives without 100% understanding of how they work. There's me on the screen. Oh shit, maybe I should do it this way. Is that better? Nah, that's not better whatsoever actually. Yeah, we're going to do it this way. So believe it or not, to anyone watching this, I actually have a full-time team that deal with my cameras and my videos and all that kind of stuff. But they're not in just now. They all went home at 5 o'clock and I forgot to get them to set up the cameras and that. Now I know, well, at least I think I know, that I can use the screen camera thing on my iMac, but it's not very good. So I'm using my iPhone just now here, and I've got the chat here. So for those of you that maybe didn't hear right at the start, I have no idea how YouTube Live works. It's my first time ever using it. Gonna hopefully have a better setup next week, but I knew it was important for me to get on, start producing some content on here and making sure everyone gets value. We've got some excellent questions as well. One second, I'm just gonna grab my hoodie, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, we've got some excellent questions that have been sent in on Instagram. I've got some stuff that I want to cover personally as well, which is going to be cool. So we're going to be talking the big bad word just now, words, artificial intelligence, which, to be totally honest, I've been using for a good few months now in my own businesses. I've been encouraging everyone inside of the Yes Academy, and I mean literally everyone, to be using it also, because I think it is potentially one of the best things to ever happen to business owners and entrepreneurs, probably in the last forever, to be totally honest. For me anyway, it's the most groundbreaking thing that I've ever used. If it starts overthrowing planets, then maybe it's not quite as good. But right now, for entrepreneurs, it's absolutely fantastic. And for those of you inside this call, I didn't say this on Instagram because I just wanted those of you that are genuinely interested and value the content. I've actually put together an awesome little free ebook for you as well on AI and how you can implement it and use it inside your business. So the structure we're going to follow here just now, the time is actually wrong on my iMac. Let me open my MacBook here. 2 minutes past. So this call today, only because I've got something on at 7 o'clock that I need to get back for, we're going to be on here for around about half an hour together, and we're going to be, talking over AI, some of its key principles that you can apply when using it in your business ventures. I'll give you my key principles on AI as well to make sure that you maybe don't do stuff that, in my opinion, is unethical, right? I've actually got some slides here, which is funny because I don't know how to fucking work YouTube Live. I think I need to get something called StreamYard, I believe, not 100% sure. And that is going to give me the capability to use slides and stuff on YouTube. I wish everything was simpler, to be totally honest. File, open recent. You'd think that this is all stuff I would do before I would come on the live, but you guys don't know me like that. You just don't know me the same way. AI principles. There we go. Sweet. So we've got, I don't know, around about 40 people in here just now. I was going to start doing these on Instagram because when I used to do Instagram lives, you would get, 600, 700 people on there. And I might start doing that once a week as well and just go mad and start giving fucking hundreds of value and loads of content. So if you're in the stream just now, please thumb up the stream, comment, letting me know you're here. Miles is here. What's up, Miles? Hope you're all good, my man. So yeah, let me know you're here. Please thumbs up the stream as well. It's greatly appreciated. It will help boost it to other people in your audiences and allow them to get value as well, which is essentially what we're here for. Let me make sure that I can get the questions up on Instagram on desktop too, so that I don't need to spin around and fuck with my phone, because the last thing I want to do is lose the capability to use my camera. Okay, it looks like I can't do that. That is excellent. That's fantastic, Richard. We'll get to that fucking problem when it comes, alright? So someone else commenting there. Matthew Quigley, Matthew Kennedy, what's up guys, how are you? You're all good. So, my AI principles, let me go over this just quick, right? Now, this isn't super exciting, sexy content right now, but it is maybe a warning slightly. Don't use AI for an unethical reason, right? Now, what I mean specifically about that, oh god, my boss is going to sack me. You're your own boss, mate, you're fine, don't worry about it. If you're using AI to pretend to be an expert in something you're not an expert in, you're not going to build a sustainable business. For me, this is all about building sustainable businesses that are going to pay you over the duration of your life, or over the however long you want to have them. If you have a goal for retiring at a certain age or whatever, then awesome. But don't go on and because AI gives you the ability to write amazing copy, don't go on Fiverr and start saying you're a copywriter, or use AI to write code for websites and start saying you're a web coder. You will end up coming up against a problem that you personally do not have the skill set to solve, that you cannot convey to an AI to help you solve. So you're going to be in a catch-22, you're not going to be able to do anything in that situation, and it's going to give you a hell of a lot of trouble. Now, that's really my only guidelines for AI. AI is to be used not to replace human input, but to increase the quality and the output of a human. So if you currently have staff in your business, you've currently got a team working, I have a team, right? This is not here so that you can go and start sacking your staff. So you can get your staff away and start using AI to replace those people. That's not what it's there for. What it's there to do is increase the value and the creative capability of each of those people. Now, a lot of you watching this right now, you probably won't have staff yet. You're not at that point in your business. Potentially, you've not started your business yet. Potentially, you're only a couple of months in. You've maybe only launched your first couple of products. You're not really at that point yet where you can justify, either through budget or through the amount of work that you're actually getting, taking on that member of staff. Or you're at a position just now where you're in your business, you're maybe a year in, you're maybe 6 months in, you're making good money, and it feels like you're busy doing everything. You're the bookkeeper, the video editor, the camera guy, the accountant, you're everything inside of your business. You can't get away from it, right? Which is also a very stressful place to be. It can be good and it can be comfortably numb because you're making better money, but it's not quite where you want to be. And this is where AI will slide in for you, right? So talking specifically about a system that I use a lot, ChatGPT, that you might want to use as well. Now, my recommendation is that if it's within your scope of affordability, use ChatGPT Plus. It's going to cost you $19 a month, and I think that works out as about £15, right? So if you're in business, this is the best £15 you will ever fucking spend in your whole life, right? 100%. And the number one uses for ChatGPT, it can do so many different things. It can write poems, it can write essays, it can do all that kind of stuff. But for entrepreneurs, I'm going to be looking here because my slides are on my MacBook that I put together for this. Your number one is going to be copywriting, okay? Now, for those of you that are maybe not familiar with the term copywriting, I need to remember that some people in the audience maybe aren't as experienced as others. I'm not talking about copyrights as in copyright infringement or owning the rights to a piece of material or piece of music, right? Copywriting is, the text that comes along with the content that you produce on social media for a mailing list and an ad on your website. So for example, when you look at my post on Instagram, you might see the post and what you might be familiar with calling a caption. Well, that in more technical terms in business is referred to as copy. And the art of making that stuff is called copywriting. Now, if you don't currently have a mailing list, you're not currently putting out content for your business, either because you're just lazy and you've not got around to it, or you're not at that point where your business has been made yet and you're not in a position to start having a mailing list. These are key things that you really want to have in your business. And even when it comes to writing Instagram captions, or it comes to writing stuff for your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, doesn't strictly need to be advertisements. ChatGPT specifically for marketing copy, ad copy, and email copy is going to revolutionize everything. It can be as easy as, let's say you're someone who's going into e-commerce and you are specifically, let me pick something random. You're specifically selling highlighter pens. You're drop shipping highlighters, right? This is really to prove that it can be with anything. You can go into ChatGPT. You can let the AI know. It's very easy to interact with. if you go into openai.com, that's where you're going to get it, right? You can go in and you can say, my name is Richard. I run a business that drop ships highlighter pens. We sell the best pens in the market. Here are some of the great reasons why people should use our business. Can you write me a paragraph creating a great customer message that is going to drive them to take action? Can you write that for me? And it will write it out. It'll give you this bulk piece of content. Then with that piece of content, what you can then do is further narrow it down and say, hey, thank you for that piece of content. I always thank AI just in case when it decides to start blowing up the world, it might remember that I'm polite and have manners, right? So you can say, that's great. Can you now break it down into an Instagram caption, a script for a TikTok video, and also an email marketing campaign? And it'll give you each of those. This is especially good if you are someone who maybe isn't that confident making videos yet. I've got to that point now where I'm pretty confident picking up my camera and talking without having to have a script. With ChatGPT, that will provide you a script for that TikTok that you can look over and get comfortable with. Yeah, you might have to take that video a couple of times. You're not doing it live, but it's going to give you something to base your content off. Now, I remember before in my business, I used to spend Mondays doing content. So Mondays, I would write 2 email campaigns, and they wouldn't be little shitty ones. They'd be decent sized email campaigns. I would write 2 email campaigns. I would plan out what I was posting on Instagram that week. I'd have my content schedule there, and it would genuinely take me the full Monday. I would wake up and probably start doing that around about 8 a.m. and between maybe picking up some phone calls and other stuff that comes along during that day, just generally running a business, I would be doing that content until dinner time. And that's when I would wrap up and maybe move on to another couple of tasks, play my PlayStation and go to bed. My whole day was doing that content. Now, with ChatGPT, I tested this myself. Obviously, I have a team that helps me with my content now, but I decided to do my typical old content Mondays to see how long it would take me. This took me the same amount of work, the same amount of content output, took me around about 35 to 40 minutes of focused time. And that was me just throwing it together. I could probably cut that down to probably about half of that, to be totally honest. And that was actually doing 5 email campaigns for that week. Now I do emails every day. I commit to emails every single day. If you're on my mailing list, as of probably tomorrow, you're going to be getting emails every single day. You're going to be sick of hearing from me. But this is because we can take our one copywriter that we have. We only have one person doing copy for the whole of everything I do, and yes, and everything else that I'm involved in, one person doing copy. Now, we were at a point a couple of months ago where I was on the fence about bringing someone else in to do copy as well and having 2 copywriters, which would cost me, don't know, somewhere in the region of £30,000 to £35,000. That's the cost to me. That's not the salary. That is the cost, right? And that I was kind of like, oh, do we really need them? Am I just gonna have to upgrade the amount of content I'm putting out to give them enough work? Do I need to do more ads? I was actually trying to think of a way to fully justify having that hire. Now, with ChatGPT and encouraging my staff to use it, I see some people in their businesses going crazy at their staff, saying, oh, you shouldn't be using that. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm paying you to do this job. Are you fucking crazy? If this can make your staff more productive, more creative, put out better content, and have one member of staff be able to put out the level of work that maybe 2, potentially 3 people can do, why the hell would you not use that? Because ultimately it's going to make your online presence better. It's probably going to make your staff happier as well and more engaging with the business that they do. And it's going to save you money. It's going to stop you spending money. I think that ChatGPT, for me, over the course of a year, will save me around about 150 to 200,000 on salaries. And in terms of time output, it is going to save me hours and hours and hours. I'm talking like, if I go back to being a solopreneur, a one-man band, like many of you probably are right now, this would save me 30 to 40 hours per week, right? Because I would do my content Mondays. That would be me just writing the content. Then I would schedule stuff. Then I'd still be taking my stories and I'd think of other pieces of content. And by the way, this goes so much further than what you think. Back then, I would have to pay a solicitor to write out my contracts. And then I would be able to take that contract, pay for it once, and then edit it as and when I need to use it going forward. I can ask ChatGPT now to write me a contract for X, Y, and Z based on the laws in Scotland. and it'll write it for me. That's how intelligent these things are. So this, even as a solopreneur, in terms of what you might pay for a freelancer to do your copy, to put together your captions for Instagram, to put together your captions for your Facebook, to write the full copy for your whole website based on just giving ChatGPT a couple of little things, like about you, this is what I do, this is my age, this is where I'm from, here's some interesting things about me, can you write some web copy for that, for a one-page landing page? It will do it like that, right? So if you're thinking about pricing that on freelancers, that could cost you £1,500, £2,500 a month, maybe more, right? That's probably about $3,500 for anyone who's watching this in America, right? Which is a lot. That is a lot, right? Especially when you're at that first start, you've just came out of your job, you've probably got little to no savings, the same position that I was in. You can't really execute there. You've not got the purchasing power. So it needs to be you putting in the sweat equity. And instead of putting in those 40 hours, making content, replying to emails, writing the emails, getting the contracts done, there is a system that, by the way, you can use the free version if you want. It's just not quite as good. But instead of having to spend thousands per month, you can spend pretty much £15 for the best artificial intelligence that you can get on the market right now. And it's going to do your TikTok scripts. It's going to do all of that stuff. Now, you can take it to a more advanced level, and you can use stuff like ChatGPT to inbuild chatbots onto your website to deal with customer service. It will actually give emotive responses. It will understand someone's attitude and how they feel, depending on how they're typing, and will be able to communicate with them in a more human way. I have went on people's sites and used their ChatGPT based chatbots, and I was not able to tell that I wasn't speaking to a human. The only thing that actually freaked me out was that I thought it was responding too fast. Imagine that being your complaint, it responds too fast. That's just ridiculous. But that's really the one thing that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah, this is moving pretty quick. That's moving pretty quick. So if you're not using ChatGPT, you need to get on that fucking yesterday. Some of the stuff that the people inside the Yes Academy are using this for is absolutely amazing. And I've not heard anyone have a bad thing to say about utilising AI inside of their business. Now, one of the other things, it's all well and good, the scripts being made for your videos and all that kind of stuff, but loads of people say, Richard, I still need to edit those videos. I still need to, caption them. I still need to put music behind them. I need to put, the intro, the outro. I need to do all that kind of stuff, and that can take hours. To give you an idea, inside of our office between myself and Paul, we've got 5 videographers, 1 full-time editor, plus all the videographers edit as well. And I asked our number 1 editor, Nathan, I said to him, Nathan, how long would it take you if I gave you raw video, just raw video, to break it down into shorts? How long would it take for you to make me, 4, 5, 6 shorts? He was like, okay, well, with the raw video, that's probably going to take me a day and a half, 2 days to make that with it captioned and blah, blah, blah. And the reason I asked him this was because I found something. I'm going to write it in the chat for you just now, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, because I fucking know you're all going to spell it incorrectly. Right? Let me just make sure it's here. This is something you need to use. Video.ai. See, it's even auto-corrected it. Video. There we go. That is what you want to be using, right? It's called video.ai. Now, video is obviously a video editing tool, right? But what this does, which is exceptional, and this is another reason why I think people should be producing content, producing podcasts, all that kind of stuff, is because with something like video, you can create a ridiculous stream of content. If you follow any content creator, I do it on YouTube especially. I do it a lot on YouTube. I upload shorts nearly every day. I upload shorts on Instagram as well, on Yes, and on my account as Reels. And that can be an arduous process, editing all that. Obviously, I don't have to do it, but I am paying people to do it. You might be in a position in your business just now where you have to do it, right? So what a video will do is you can upload, let's say you do a solo podcast, right? Let's say I save this video off of YouTube. This live video I'm doing just now, once it finishes, I save it and I upload it onto video. Make sure if you've just checked into the stream, give it a little thumbs up, drop your name in the comments, let me know where you're checking in from. So I can upload this onto there and video will automatically watch that, understand my breaks in conversation, my key points, the different bits that are clippable, and will cut all the shorts for me. So if I upload, say, one of mine and Paul's podcasts, which generally lasts between 45 minutes to an hour, video produces at minimum... Oh, sorry, my light has just went off. There we go, back on. Video will produce a minimum each time of 15 reels, 15 shorts from that podcast. And it's not just cutting it randomly. It is like at the start of a new point. This is how intelligent these systems are. I'll start a point and I go, actually, Paul, you know what? Let's talk about this. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll start. And video will know exactly when I start making that point. And it will go for 1 minute. You can set it to 2 minutes. You can do it as big or as small as you want. And it will clip that, right? Not only will it clip it, but it will caption it too. Not only will it caption it, but it will overlay royalty-free music. Now, if you pay for the premium version, which I think is $26 a month for level 1 and maybe around $50 for level 2, I pay for the $50 one. You're going to get intros made by video, outros made by video. You're going to get more storage space to use as well. Stu is saying that Richard is my ex. Not sure about that, Stu. I'm not really sure. It's definitely not me, my man. Watching from Paul, Richard met you at the golf course the other day. Oh yeah, awesome. That's class. I remember that actually. We were down at the what's it called? Hag's Castle. So yeah, video's going to caption all of it. Now the one thing I would say is think about your accent, right? And I know that sounds kind of daft, but accents do play a big part in how this system can caption. So when I first tested out video before I told the Yes community, and now how I'm telling you guys about it as well, I had to play about with the AI the first couple of times I used it, because it would pick up a word in my accent wrong, and I would tell the AI that's wrong, this is what I've said, right? So it took a little bit of learning, but it learns how I speak over those first couple of times of using it. Now, when we record the podcast, it allows Gary and Nathan, all the different guys in there who previously would have taken 2 days of paying someone to edit that. We can get 10 to 15 reels off of a half an hour, 45-minute podcast, captioned, all done, all ready to go, ready to upload straight away, right? It's done within 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Jackson Brody, a genuine brilliant tool for anybody. Can say from personal experience since being told about it within the Yes Academy. Awesome, Jackson. It's great that you're going and actually using that stuff, because some people hear this and go, it's fine, I like to do it manually, I know how to use it, it's fine. Between these, right, goes to site currently will be updated now. Oh, potentially, yeah. I might actually have to link that on my Instagram just now, but we've been using it for a while. We've got the pro version, so maybe it's at capacity just now. I'm not 100% sure, but if you can register for updates or whatever, definitely do it, because the way I see this is for, what, £15 plus, even if you buy the most expensive one on video, it does have a free version, of course, but you can use HD rendering and stuff like that. If you pay the $50, about 40 quid, plus the $20, about £15 for ChatGPT, £55 all in, right? I keep looking at the fucking camera on my iMac, even though it's down here. About £55 all in, you, in my opinion, are getting almost as good as a full-time video editor and a full-time copywriter, which for, in today's market, you would pay in terms of yearly salaries, combined, about 65,000, and then that's just their salaries. You need to make pension contributions, you need to do all that stuff that an employer needs to do, so it's probably going to cost you in the 70s at least, potentially into the 80s as well. So you're getting a full team, the appearance of being someone with a much larger team and being able to put out a lot more content than can be justified for a single individual, because of these systems, right? So ChatGPT and Vidyo.ai, video with a Y, VIDYO.ai. You must use these tools. Unless, of course, you want to spend more time, you want to be busier, then cool, crack on, be busier. I am not going to tell you that you're really going to need to use tools like this, or be comfortable paying 65, 70, 75, 80,000 pounds per year for these members of staff. Right, I'm going to try quickly just now on my Mac to pull up these questions. Get the app to use stickers. Yeah, I don't want to fucking use stickers. How do I see this? 1 second. Let me spin this around onto myself. That's hazard tape. Don't worry. You're not at any risk. Now, if I go off this, does it end the stream? I hope not. Let me try just quick. If this ends, give me a sec. I can mute microphone. What else can I do in here? It's quite fucking interesting, actually. I'm going to nip onto Instagram quickly. Okay. Says I'm still here. I don't know. Am I? Can you see me? Hello? I'm watching on this screen here to see if it comes back. Oh, yeah. We're here. Class. Nice one. Right, so I've got a couple of questions. I just sent them to myself on my MacBook. I'm going to get through these as quick as possible. Sorry about that little outage there, troops. I'm going to try and get through these as quick as possible because I need to leave there, troops. I'm going to try and get through these as quick as possible because I need to leave soon. So, I've got a question here from Emma. I've got a question here from EmmaJane.1x. How do you start something with nothing? I need to better my life. Okay, Emma Jane, what I want you to do, and to anyone else watching this, I'm itchy as fuck just now. What I want you to do is I want you to head to www. I'm going to send this in here for you. I spelled that wrong. That's good of me. That's going to be useless. Okay, so that's the 7-step system, www.7stepsystem.co.uk. Now you're asking how do you start something with nothing. I've got a couple of minutes here to give you as much information as possible, which just isn't enough. But I've got a 3-day free coaching program. Starts a week today, right? So it starts Monday the 3rd or whatever it is, right? Monday the 2nd, I'm not 100% sure. So that is going to be game changing for everyone in here. Game changing. And I'm going to show you the 7 steps that you need to follow, the boxes that you need to tick, and the things that you need to do to be able to find that financial success that you've been looking for. I would love to be able to give more right now on this live, but I'm going to be spending 3... Oh, mic isn't working. The mic should be working. Is it? Are we all good? You can hear me? So Miles can hear me? Okay. The mic's fine for some people, not fine for others. All right. Okay. Whatever. So, 7stepsystem.co.uk is what you want to follow. All right. I'm going to give you so much more value that I can give you here live on YouTube right now. We're going to spend 3 days together. I'm going to be coaching you on everything you need to know based around this 7-step system that is going to make it so much easier for you to actually follow that path to financial success. Perfect. All right, okay. Everyone's got it now. Sweet. Someone has asked me here. This is Johnny McKenna. I'm a software engineer by trade, slowly starting to make an income from my own apps. Best way to 10x. Oh, Johnny, I actually remember this, and you're in here, aren't you, somewhere? I believe I seen you in the chat. Did I? Yeah, Johnny McKenna, I can see it. Right, so you asked me that, Johnny, and I deliberately went onto your profile. You had under 1,000 followers, if I remember, like 780 or something. I can't remember exactly. But I went onto your profile, you had a business linked, you had a couple of things in your bio and I had a look about. You need to 10x your content, mate. 10x. You need to get out there, right? Here's the reality, and I say this with kindness. I'm not getting on at you here, right? But you're starting to make this income. Amazing, right? It's fantastic. If you need the income to spend on other things, yeah, cool. Spend your income. Awesome. If you can invest that income into marketing, if you can start using the tools like I just spoke about, ChatGPT and video, to start making more content, to be able to promote that content, to get a better website, because let's face it, social media and your website is the focal point of your business. Fact. Nobody gets a recommendation about someone and picks up the phone and calls now. The first place they go to is Google, Instagram, Facebook, www.johnnysoftwareengineering.com, whatever, right? That is where they go. So you need to increase the amount of content that you're putting out there and the value that you bring to your audience, because guess what? You cannot make sales, you cannot make income, you cannot make an impact if people don't know who you are. And right now, it's about you getting known, or your business getting known. If you're not interested in having a personal brand, it's about promoting your businesses and what they do. There was not enough content. There's good content there. The stuff, your account was clean. I deliberately went on and checked for this specifically. And if I was you, you need to increase your output 10x on your content. Daily posts, daily stories. You need to be on LinkedIn as well. You need to be on TikTok as well. You need to be on YouTube as well. Facebook as well. You need to be everywhere, because no one can buy from you if they don't know who you are. That's the way I see it. No one can buy from you if you don't know who you are. So I personally, if I was you, that's what I would do. That is the fastest way you can reach more customers and ultimately increase your income. Unless you want to start using carrier pigeons to speak to people, which I wouldn't recommend personally. How would you start a drop shipping business from Pringle_.g5? I hope your first name anyway, isn't Pringle, because that would be pretty fucking odd. How would I start a drop shipping business? Well, me first, I personally wouldn't. Not because I don't think it's a good industry. I think there's amazing amount of money to be made in there. It's something we're going to be covering soon inside of the Yes Academy. It's just not my focal point of interest just now. I'm in property and a couple of other things as well, and that's what I like to be. Now, I can't sit here and say, oh, here's what I do to start a drop shipping business, because I have never done it. It's not something I do, and that's the whole point. And what we do at the Yes Academy is that I find the best mentors in every sector that our members request, and I bring them in, and people get to learn from them. That's the way that I think is best. But if I was looking to start any type of business, whatever you guys are thinking about personally right now, the first place I would go is YouTube. There is so much content on YouTube, so much you can pick up for free, so much you can watch and learn. You should be exhausting that resource. Like, I mean, really exhausting that resource. If you're not spending an hour a day on YouTube, what is an hour a day? Say an hour a day, Monday to Friday, that's a very small amount of time. 5 hours per week, 20 hours a month. It's 240 hours across a year. And if within that year you haven't launched something by then you must just be a content junkie for fun. But there is so much content there that you can bounce off of. I know people who, especially when I had more videos on YouTube, I restructured my YouTube a lot and changed a lot of it. But when I had a lot of content on YouTube, I was doing a lot more lives, a lot more content, which I'm doing now. There was people starting businesses off the back of just the free content. And there will be people who start businesses just off the back of the 7-step system free 3-day coaching program, which if you haven't registered for, you need to go and register now. The link is inside the chat. But that is what I would do, is exhaust the free resources that you have. Find out if it's something you actually want to do, if you're actually interested in it. And that is where you're going to start being able to build the foundations to actually start that business and understand, okay, now it's time to start taking some of my wages and using that to invest in research and development, finding who is the best supplier for this product, that product, this product, spend money on my marketing, spend money on my site, on my Shopify store, on my WooCommerce, whatever it is you're using. Everything that I've ever done online has been built on WooCommerce personally, and I really like WooCommerce. So that is my opinion on there. We had a few more questions, but I'm going to need to dart off now. So next week, we're going to be here again at 6 p.m. We are going to be covering, again, probably around about 45 minutes next week all things business, entrepreneurship. You'll be able to send in your questions on Monday next week via my Instagram, and I'll be answering them here. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time tonight and investing that time in yourself to make sure that you're getting that bit more information, a bit more understanding of the things that are working today in business that you can go and use to hopefully increase a current income stream or to create a whole new one altogether. And the thing I always say is, what have you got to lose other than the job that you didn't want anyway? So make sure you use this information, you go and apply it in your business, you get onto www.7stepsystem.co.uk, you join me for a free 3 days of coaching towards your financial goals. There's going to be over 1,000 people in that group. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So make sure you get on that. I'm going to catch you all soon. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next Monday. Peace.